The president gets the crowd fired up on the first night of the Democratic National Convention.
Madeline Rivera is with us from Washington. Madeline, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Anthony and Natalie.
All right, so this was a very energetic president we saw. He didn't take the stage like Guns N' Roses. He went on way late, 10:30 here in Chicago.
Like Madonna, I think.
Yeah, Madonna,
maybe, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So give us a wrap-up of how he did. Was the crowd energized even despite his late arrival?
Yeah, he got on the stage around 11:30 p.m. Eastern time for us, and the reason for that is because the people in the crowd, they kept applauding speaker after speaker, causing all of these interruptions. So convention officials said they even had to cut out some of the programs so that they can get to the president quicker. They had to cut out a performance from James Taylor, much to the disappointment, I'm sure, to some folks in the crowd. But once the president got on stage, you saw that he was very emotional. He was wiping tears from his face as his daughter, Ashley Biden, introduced him, and the president gave a fiery speech. He spoke for nearly an hour. He talked about his record, and he encouraged voters to rally behind Vice President Kamala Harris. But I'm sure he had a range of emotions as well, because this was a speech that he didn't want to give, right? Because just a month ago, remember, this convention was supposed to be his. So his speech marked a political farewell, a long political farewell, as he ends more than 50 years of public service. He told him he told the crowd in perhaps one of the most poignant moments, he told them, "I gave my best to you." And the crowd certainly loved him. They gave him a more than a 4-minute standing ovation before he even delivered remarks. They're thanking him for his service, but at the same time, they're also thanking him for stepping down from the presidential race. His aides and his allies framing it as a self-sacrifice to preserve democracy. The president obviously has mixed feelings about that, because he told reporters just yesterday after his speech at the convention that he believed he still had a chance to beat former President Trump, but he didn't want to cause a distraction for the party and perhaps cause some vulnerabilities for those House and Senate Democrats in those down-ballot races, guys.
And Madeline, you know, the vice president made what everyone calls a surprise appearance on the first night of the convention. Wasn't really a surprise, though, was it, since this convention is hers now?
You know, everything about these things are so well choreographed, right? But Vice President Kamala Harris's appearance wasn't publicized, so she went up on stage. Her remarks were very short. It was mainly a tribute to President Biden, thanking him for his service. Natalie.
Madeline Rivera live in Washington for us. Thank you, Madeline.
You got it. Thanks, guys.